Ya estoy en directo de mientras que escuchamos esto. Vamos a ver la FNCS. Face Mongrel van primeros. Dios. ¡Vamos, Mongrel! ¡Let's go! Mitro Mongrel, vamos. Me voy a colocar bien para ver lo otro. Dios mío, ven esto. Oh, a ver esto. Final de Europa, las predicciones. Ojo, ojo, ojo. Yanis. Oh.
They're coming back for the 2 times. They're second right now, and they are performing very, very well so far. So 7 games left. I believe in the Bulls. Okay, I'm gonna drop some fun facts about every prediction. Once again, you mentioned Clement. I was gonna say
What the fuck? Las escobas están fuera. Oh,
in every FNCS, no matter what, he's so rock solid when it comes to just being able to play these games all the way out towards the end.
Voy a cambiar aquí. No me dejan verme aquí. Sí, el único que está mirando esto es que... Ah, no, ahí va. No. Hola, pringa. Está aquí tocando esto.
No sé si lo ven.
Talking about it at the top of the show. The best of the best, arguably one of the strongest and most talented trios in the entire world, and they've shown it so far through the first 5 games in Europe. Is coming out of Stark Industries. It's the 11 Payson, FaZe Mongrel, and Liquid Nitro, and they have had this place wire to wire the entire time. Anybody who's come here basically gets forced napping to 50-50 one of those henchman chests. Otherwise, they just
con ese blaster dorado se va a cargar a Iron Man. con esa
only
pan
person that's
verde.
literally contesting
Tiene su
when he has to
fusil,
is
se carga
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
And Iron Man is getting
Coge la
destroyed by the
pica.
Thanos of the
No, como
Fortnite
no hay
world, and that is the Big
tarjetas.
Brawl
Coge la
and
pica.
Mongrel. And what's the most interesting thing is when I tuned into Mongrel's Twitch stream after this
Ahora mismo va a abrir la
incredible
tarjeta,
day
tiene
one,
6.000
he was
escudos, tiene un
creative,
escudo gordo,
free
un
building to
blaster
stay
de
sharp.
oro.
That's the
Una
champion's
pan
mentality.
verde.
There's no celebrating. They still
Big
know they
Nitro,
have a job to
vemos
do. Mission
que
is
tiene
not complete. And what was a really sweet
dos
moment, so to
escudos
speak, and
gordos,
I know
tiene
that may
Big
be a
Nitro.
strange thing to say when you mention Mongrel, but a really sweet moment
Nitro
was that he was
tiene
asking for a
6,
prayer from his
está
community.
cargando
He
un
said,
Chequad,
look, I'm
tiene
performing at
una
my best.
morada,
My mates are
una pava
performing at their
azul,
best. I
tiene
100%
dos
believe
granadas de
that
impulso,
he will
6
be the
clases.
Fortnite champion at the end of the day and that he will come out on top. That was a very touching moment to tune in to Mongrel's stream. So this trio right here, everybody has their eyes on. Everybody in the Twitterverse, the Fortnite fam, was wondering how they will perform. And so far, Sundown, nobody's contesting them. So nobody's going to step up to the challenge to slow down this train.
Mongrel tiene 21 construcciones y una espada. 4 mini escudos que le pueden salvar de una situación. Un escudo gordo que se lo va a tomar ahora. O eso creemos. No, no se lo toma. No sabemos por qué, pero no decide tomárselo. Prefiero coger el coche. Tyson a 150 de vida, Nitro también a 150 de vida. Tienen el coche más tirado del juego, este es el coche más tirado del juego, sin ninguna duda. Aquí se están echando splashes para todos y cuidado. Aquí está aquí que deja una paz para su compañero. Coge un escudo gordo, se lo va a tomar. Una pava azul que no la coge. Muy raramente no la coge.
Baby, we're going all the way back to the fall of 2018. Week 3 fall skirmish to that shockwave play that shocked the entire world. When he threw it on the ceiling, sent himself down for the first time. We've seen kind of one of those aggressive shockwaves through the builds, but
tiene dos granadas de impulso, fusil azul, 3.000 escudos, tiene el loot de box fight y 37 construcciones. 100 Wolfried, 120 construcciones. Wolfried solo tiene un blaster azul gordo, 120 de vida, 2 camas. Cada uno, Cell, no sé quién es. Airport. Tiene 6 clases, una espada, 4 camas elásticas, 92 balas, o sea, una ráfaga, pero lo más importante es que tenía más de 140 construcciones. Aquí un enfrentamiento entre Milan.
Even though we're going to keep our eye, of course, on the top of the board,
Milan.
we're always going to see the other big names in the region trying to compete and kind of accrue literally every even, every placement point. We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars on the line.
Sí, XR Milan. Es el Milan de KPI. Creo que es el Milan de KPI que se llama así. Están aquí todos los 3. Le marcan al enemigo. Lanza una granada de impulso. Le está rusheando. Otra granada de impulso. Alexa está yendo con él. Paga azul y 20, 200. Radios, Power Dead, Silver, Fusil Gris, granadas de impulso y su caña profesional que les puede ayudar sacando sus vidas. Es más difícil eso que ganarte en
getting a knock against that dual media trio as well. So that fight, that engagement, that in Doom's domain is still popping off here. So we've been seeing though in different regions, Sundown, is that sometimes this Craigie Cliffs trio, as you see in Milan's trio, sometimes could push that fight and be wondering. I think what we're seeing here is this Milan trio is picking on the scavenger routes versus going against the power POI like Doom's domain, like the NAE Zexros of the world.
Which I think is the right decision.
Se mata uno.
These scavenger routes is when you're not landing at one of the main places on the map. You're just trying to get aggregate number of
uno se cargan al equipo entero.
You're also utilizing the fishing pools because there is a solid amount of weaponry
Mira,
that you can pull from there. We've seen the clips of people pulling this epic and legendary
Alexa, que
as well as
revía Milán. Para poca vida, pero lo que viene.
Points there, each elimination being the worst one, and that will be our first trio going down on the day here.
Están intentando.
Milan trio was coming in 24th place, so on the bottom half of the board, they had about 23 points, had about 10 elims. Their average placement, though, is about 18 plus, so they're looking to turn that around. And this is the only trio that right now, at the moment, is in striking distance. It is Analytianis and X. This is also a very decorated trio. Z kind of mentioned that at the top of the show. Duo champion, a solo champion in Yanis as well. Analyx is that duo champion. X is the only one looking for that trophy to add to the mantle. And already, Stir 6 getting fully confirmed in the Elim feed. That was another up-and-coming team. But I gotta say, that lead, yes, it's only 30 points, but that's a victory royale plus 5 elims. It's gonna be very tough for Analytianis and X to kind of bridge that gap. Because all Mongo Mitro has to do and Jason is just keep the pace. Get to in-game, don't kind of take any aggressive fights. Make sure they're standing on their feet to accrue those placement points. And that is why that lead difference is going to be very difficult. I know we've been talking about it, Sundown, is that, they're very inconsistent and they take some crazy fights. But I think you can learn their lesson, and that's I believe that Tayson is, like, finally, they're believing in what Tayson's leadership is, and Tayson's being a very, like, super gorilla glue there, holding that trio together.
Dos gordos y tres minis.
Feels like all
tiene un arpón, blaster, spas, luego 6 camas, 6 en el equipo de Wolf. Vale, la mata uno, van a ir a rusharle.
We talked about the first shot accuracy reset on that being very, very, very quick, and they're going to be able to get a little piece of kind of this third-party action.
Por freeze, el jugador que va de prodigio, 144 obstrucciones que tiene ahora mismo. Le van bajando. Le han dado un golpe a Warfree. Un golpe a esta 179 Cuidado con CRR, le han bajado mucho tiro de golpe.
Within that striking distance, they just got to string together a couple of strong games. And you're seeing here their box fighting skills as they pick up a knock on Smudge, who did get a knock on Stir 6 here. So Stir 6 is around this area. It was all the way up. It'll be interesting to see what Kenzo Wolfie did. They could get a strong start. They had a good start in day 1. Getting that victory royale. Nice. The confirmation right there with 2 elims. Looking really solid. I'm expecting this trio to start picking up elims, considering that is what they do best. Their average placements is about 12th place, and average elims is sitting at 3. No doubt this trio could do a lot more work, but it was that game 2 goose egg that really did hurt their stride, and we have to avoid those goose eggs going forward. So if you're on top of the board, you don't want any zeros. You don't want to get knocked out before that 17th place threshold. You want to keep doing what you do, and that is what Benji and Savage now they have to do. Now there's no Lexi, so that's going to be a duo moving on. It's going to be so much riding on the line for this to keep up the pace that they're sitting in 3rd place at the moment.
Puedo subir el volumen, Mr. Savage. Eso sí que lo reconozco, Mr. Savage. Con muy buen loot, la verdad. Mr. Savage con muy buen loot. Tiene una Scar morada, tiene un flanco morado que le puede salvar. 4 splashes, cada azul no tiene sus Scar. Que caracteriza. Tiene la skin y tiene 2 mini escudos. El Benji Savage con Benji con altura, sí, hombre. Esto lo voy a aflojar al 0. Con altura. Con altura. Con altura.
In solo lobbies, but it only triggers when you have a certain density of players. The current threshold when zone is the second
Benjifish una kill, Savage una kill. Benjifish muy buen loot. Vigilante, dice mentira que me mate. Gloria a su.
While you can use that utility out here, generally it makes you go aggressive.
And then you see the Dormir trio in the background there. But just to give you an idea how important Leslie has been in these grand finals, he is currently leading the way if he wins. So now they're missing that. They are kind of spreading that workload almost evenly, 7, 8 respectively for Benji's and Savage, but they've been the only trio that's been truly all the way up. Like, they spend the most time as a trio. So this is going to be one of the rare times in these grand finals that Benji and Savage are going to go as a duo. So they're truly putting in that team effort, and the results are speaking for themselves considering that they're in third place. But you can see that the injury that's been caused by that dual knee trio out in that distance here, they're basically 2v2. We're just saying that, a contested Doom's Domain can just leave you, yes, you get that opportunity to get that power weapons, opportunity to get those loops, but at the end of the day, man, you're going into these dangerous zones injured.
Tocan a Savage.
Picking up eye drop there. He's going to get the confirmation there. Nachos getting busy on top of these guys.
Oh, Savage a 129, mira, muy mal. Savage muy mal. Difícil que le puede hacer el carrito perfectamente. Está casi a 200 de vida. Yo creo que Mr. Savage ahora mismo podría morir. Escuchando sus clases y aparcado. Ahora mismo Mr. Savage se está jugando. Le están usando, cuidado. Están usando a Mr. Savage. ¿Saben que se ha tocado? Le meten. El equipo de Benji sale victorioso. Mr. Savage muere, Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage muere, vale. El equipo de Benji Fishy salió bien.
4 points so far, but Savage, man, very little white HP.
And if Savage gets tagged here a bit, that's going to be the green light for any trio to kind of jump on down. And just looking at it right here, it's like once you kind of leave your main power POI, the question is, where are we going to find a replenishment? And considering right now there's literally zero or minimal opportunities to kind of farm up, you're going to have to get from another trio. And when you're in shambles like Benji and Savage are, that's going to be so difficult. Yes, they get a little brief refresher. They find a little moment of oasis, but that could be soon a mirage going forward for the rest of the ride here in this opening game in day 2. This is the grand finals. This is the FNCS Trios. At the end of the day, we will crown an FNCS Trios champion, and that's going to be awesome. And they're going to collect $111,000, wield the active champions, and gain the ultimate respect of being a champion.
Here, but they were fifth coming into the day. Solari 12 and Rams commit. And Nako's the French trio being incredibly consistent during their piece and having a good start to the day yesterday, but really blossoming games there. Games 3 and 4 made it tough and kind of allowed them top of the leaderboard to separate themselves out a bit. Now, one thing about this trio in particular is they're a little bit more aggressive on average than any other trio in EU. They generally will pick up their first elimination around 8.5 minutes in, which is more so than a lot of the other teams. So despite being uncontested, they're more than comfortable to go out and not only get tags, but look for confirmation. And one thing I want to note, we went from 91 players to 66 players in that nice little start there. So the Storm Surge driving plenty of action and plenty of points being built out.
Pueden ir a buscarlo.
The placement points won't come through, so we have our top 17 teams.
The same thing that we saw in the East in their day one. It was a fantastic
me desvío del
all those players in the East region were playing so tight to the chest. They were making sure that every build mattered and every peak mattered, every edit mattered. And we were seeing those crazy Storm Surge where I remember like 5 minutes of passing, everybody was still being alive and up and running. We've seen in the feed Analytics, it's the confirmation of Vero, so Vero, I drop it, still six are out. Benji is still cooking up right there, going against Carrot and U-Star that kind of pop up on the scene, the FNCS and the patient wants, who is Carrot? But hey, I don't know how long we give you cruise, man. It's time to heat up, man. I don't know what you got to do if you're the coolest Carrot, but now it's time to heat it up, because right now the action is heated up as we can get a nice overview of Thomas HG and that trio. We had a decent start, they pulled zone, and I really believe, and I'll get into it if you have an opportunity, I really believe that shifting that landing from retail, from Dirty Docks to retail road is really affecting that Thomas HG trio.
It makes it a little tough to be able to get out and use this circumstances. You see utility being used as players with jockey positions here on the fourth zone. The positioning in this zone is so important because we're changing to the next zone. The fifth zone will then be our half-inch side. What that means is that the new safe area will kind of cut around the outside to play 3 zones, and now crowding on the outside to the hopes of pulling that half in, half out 5th zone, so then they'll get priority on the moving zones that happen after this. So zone 6 through 9 will completely leave the safe area to the new zone, and that causes everyone to be forced to rotate, and that's where high ground ends up being so equal.
Here is our wild card trio here, able to get into the very intense, super hype. All the metaphors in the world will not explain how intense that situation was. It is Rojo's trio, and they're doing really well in the grand final stage, sitting in 10th place, and they pick up a big knock on Hen, and Hen Peach against Deceptos, and one of those trios that a lot of people are picking as a dark horse. So this is going to be a big impact elimination, not only for Dave just on the leaderboard, but for Rojo's trio for just to have that confidence of knowing that they can compete. And that just is what's really wild here about that the 33rd team can still walk away with the grand championship at the end of the day. Deceptos, Patrick, and Hen. And we all know, just like Mongo's importance to that trio, Hen is super important to Deceptos and Patrick. And Patrick goes down.
Patrick goes down again. Smash Dave, you talked about it. Rojo, the World Cup duos runner-up there with Wolfbeast, now representing Smash Esports. You can see SB Nate and then Bobo of Exalted as well. They came up clutch in the final moments yesterday, but now putting good pressure. And we talked about it. Hey, what's the difference between the first and the 33rd team in the finals? Well, they all get to play all 12 games, and it's a fresh slate once you get there. So all that matters is you got right to the dance, and right now these guys have been very much so capitalizing on the opportunities to find some great rifle shots. The angles here from these guys almost completely covered. And notice how they have the metal full belt cones above them, cutting down the angle on anybody else who might be or might even thinking about throwing shots towards them. So good effort there to convert into 4 points.
It's all about the acute angles right there. Everything matters. Every moment matters. Every knock matters. Every confirmation and elim matters. This is what the intensity is of Fortnite competitive play, especially on the grand final stage. And some people will be able to step up to that pressure, and they're going to be able to play outside of their minds, and we're all going to get hyped and say, what are you doing? What did you eat for breakfast? How are you doing this? Or some of them are just going to be able to fold, but that doesn't matter. I mean, you made it this far. You have an opportunity to build off of this, to build that confidence. And that is what's so amazing about this, is that if you think about the EU region entirety, it's probably one of the most dense regions in the Fortnite competitive scene.
Oh, it's absolutely the most players competing, especially at the highest level when you're going through the most participation. And you've seen time and time again that some of the players that come out of this region, they've done skill level of mechanics are utterly ridiculous at times. You might not have the most discipline, but what does discipline matter when you can beat the person who's across from you 9 times out of 10? And right now you can see Clement and Floki Nakos were able to pick up an elimination onto Badil and Fastroki's trio. So going to be able to snake away a point there and also avoid Storm Surge for that 5th zone threshold. It is 50 players, so we're right at that line. We are also at the line where placement points are about to begin to be doled out. So once we get into the top 17, every single trio that falls will then be 1 more point. Then once you're into the top 3, there's an additional 11 points on the line. 3rd gets +2, 2nd gets +4, and then the Victor Royale walks away with a big old +5, or whatever eliminations they can rack up at the end. And right now, we're seeing, again, good discipline here from the French trio, finding an angle, being able to put pressure. They pulled priority on this zone here. You can see their bottom right-hand corner. They have the white line, and everyone else is going to have to pass them if they want to head to safety. And they're going to begin to try and head upwards a little bit. Nope, they open that up and they see, never mind, somebody's directly above us. We're going to stay on this low ground.
And here we are going into full storm rotations now. 6, 7, 8 are going to be outside the storm every time this trio gets into the safe zone. And then 9 is the ultimate closing zone. You go all the way down to the entire screen is still purple. But Nakos gets a big knock on Yanis on the same layers there as they're going to make their full rotation. That is the power of having priority. You could kind of look back and they get X-Squeeze as well. So they're going to trade out when Nakos is going to go down, pick up the quick heal. That's a great benefit as well, being on the front side of the storm. You have have the time to res.
No,
They're going to barely get
Giannis,
that res off, and now we're going to
uno
take a
de
look at
los
the chaos.
tochos.
You're going to have the low ground form up. You're going to have the mid ground form up, and of course, who is at height is always the question that everybody wants to know. Because they're going to have the power position here to walk away with the victory royale. Savage goes down, gets fully confirmed in the feed. All the names are going to start lighting up here for the moment here, Sundown.
Yeah, now we have a place getting to get doled out, and they're going to come in very quickly. 2 already ticking over as we're into our top 15. 35 players remaining, but a good execution there coming through from Nakos and Co. to get back to a strong 3. Now they're going to about face and start spraying shots. Andalix will also get confirmed by Black. That's our second place team being taken down. We talked about Rojo and Co, but they will be no mo there as he gets taken out. However, Mongrel, Tayson, Mitro, if the #1 team doesn't fall and gets high ground every game, this is going to be a race for second as they open up match number 6, just like they closed the rest of the day yesterday, controlling high ground and raining down the AR shots with nary a contestation in sight. So we're going to hop on board here with the French trio, who's continuing to work on the low ground. 4 eliminations so far. Nakos has a legendary pump as well as Bandage Cannon, so good opportunity to potentially execute here in the late game and make some plays.
CRR stealth, Wolfies does get knocked, but it is an opportunity for at least Clement, Forky, and Nakos to kind of close the gap as much as possible. Yes, already metaphorically as well. On top of the leader is Mongrel, and on height in this game as Nakos does pick up the demon right then and there. It's so important, though. We've been seeing the playstyle in the EU region to overcome height at a moment's notice. We've been seeing a lot of low ground victory royales. The question is can Mongrels hold on? And Kenzo is actually going for height. It's Cammy. 2 teams are competing from height. And it's going to be Tayson that's going to be left on alone. And you mentioned Mongrel going down. That is the ultimate closer for that trio. Mitro and Tayson are going to have to do it as Cammy and Raxo take control of height, as you see on your bottom right. On the top right is going to be the low ground. And Clement, and man, look at them. They're getting so many elims right now. Already with 7 Sundown.
And there's plenty more on the board. They're also getting the placement points ticking over. Top 4 with 9 players remaining. But all of a sudden, Clement is all alone. He's going to turn around and pick up CRR. It's going to be a 1v3. He finds a second. Right away, that was Mitro for the full confirm. But he goes down in 3rd. Raxo up on the high ground, running it out now. And the challenge comes up from Kenzo. And he gets swatted down. Raxo and Gamma Gaming Cammy will close that one out. 9 eliminations and 34 points from the victory royale. Match 6 closes out there.
In a blink of an eye, before you know it, a victory royale is accrued by Raxo and Co. We're going to need to break down from Zeke, Shayo, and Reese. What you got for us, fellas?
Esto nunca lo he visto yo. Muchas contusiones. No chupéis cámara.
What we got, Sancho, is day 2. And we have even more day 2 teams. This is what we were talking about at the very beginning of this show. Cammy, Artur, I cannot believe they find themselves the victory royale. Just for clarity, they came in and ended day 1.
No sé la otra gente, pero a mí no me lo hace.
And now they're going to start day number 2 with the victory royale and eliminations. I mean, this is exactly what we've been talking about. I'm so surprised, and gentlemen, we're going to break down kind of what went down a little bit more in just a little bit. But remember, we've got the standings. We have these cumulative leaderboards. You've still got Mongrel, Jason. They're far and away, even after that game. I mean, 40 points ahead? I don't know how they're doing this.
It's like they didn't win that last game, but they did not lose it either. They got to survive all the way till the very end, and now they have an even bigger lead race.
Ya ni segundo, los puntos se nos dan la diferencia, las eliminaciones también, las victorias lo importante. Wolfie tercero, el jugador prodigio de mando.
We can see kind of Andalix not managed to get that many points, only 4.
Mr.
Still holding on to the second place spot, but you know, they really want to be trying to bridge that gap between first and second, and so far it's only gone a little bit further.
So our top 3 also switched up with Benji going down to 5th, and then we see another show, Kings get 3rd overall. This is what Zeke was talking about. Raxo, Cammy, and Artur, a victory royale. 14th place all the way now to 6th with 76 points.
Wow, that's impressive, and you know, to answer a little bit of Sancho's question, how did they do it? They did it because they were popping off on low ground, being really, really consistent. They managed to keep that for the end game, take height, and win the game that way. So really nice play from them, pushing them up from 14th all the way up to 6th.
Yeah, and all the way from 6th down to 15th. There's been a few switch-ups here and there. Nate, Rojo, and Bobo move all the way up to 11th from 15th from what we saw before. Cooler, Robabs, and Blackie are getting that victory royale, but are slightly teetering off now, dropping out of the top 10 place. And Paige, we'll see if they can bring it all the way back. Vettel, iJump, and Stursix also a trio to look out for that plays very consistently. And Falconly, Yaxo, and Skype, I love actually seeing their names now. It looks so clean in 15th place. 47 points, not too far behind the competition. Still very close for the top 15.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it when you can read the names, it's clear, and you can find the players. I love it. And all the teams that you're seeing here between 16th and 20, you know, most of these guys are really struggling with that early and mid game, in particular with Storm Surge. You know, these guys in this grand finals kind of lobbies, going for Storm Surge guys is extremely difficult, and your strategy really needs to be down. Queasy Milan Chapix in 19th, coming out of Craggy, is really struggling with that right now. So hopefully they can figure out their strategy, get their points, and keep moving.
I think we could chalk some of this up to just first game, Jim.
Bueno,
right?
gente, mejor corto directo, solo quiero decir una cosita más.